What's going on?
Happening.
Happy post-election something.
All right.
I don't know about y'all, but last week, Tuesday night, I was on fucking pins and needles. Went to bed trying not to look at anything, trying to be hopeful. Woke up at 4 a.m. My phone was blowing up, and I got to look and I said, oh shit. And I actually had to wait a couple hours before I woke my wife up and told her the good news.
Right.
Because I didn't want to piss her off. So, I'm going to let her sleep. But good news, hope for the Republic. We can breathe easy for a minute, hopefully.
Yeah. Well, we dodged a 4-year bullet on that one.
4-year bullet.
Which
Fucking
would have
24
turned into a 20-year bullet, 40-year bullet.
It would have turned into an endless bullet.
Yeah.
It just, no. That being said, it's definitely a better day in America. If we can just make it 67 more days, 47 will be back in the White House putting boot to ass. That being said, let's get rid of
Absolutely.
clear out the boilerplate shit on the front end tonight. For all of you out there that are tuning in, let's just be clear. Anything we say on here is for entertainment purposes only. If you do not understand what that is, you do not need to be on YouTube. Okay? This is a couple of like-minded individuals, fellow patriots, folks in the chat, here to be entertained and are like-minded, wanting to discuss things that are going on. Check your facts, do your own research. We're not here to sow any kind of anti-government sentiment, any kind of anarchy bullshit, any kind of law breaking. That's not us. That's not why we're here. We're here to have a discussion amongst friends and colleagues about shit that we feel is going on. That's it. So live it, learn it,
Love it.
way he said. All right, we'll give it a few minutes for folks to start dropping in, because you never know if we're blacklisted, shadow banned, or whatever the hell they're doing to us this week. So I know we've got a lot of folks with Trump derangement disorder really bad this week from what I've seen.
Oh, Lord, yeah.
Have you had anybody hit you up on Facebook telling you if you voted for Trump, unfriend them?
No. What was more disturbing is we have had some folks that after the election and really right before were trying to, say that, Orange Man, extremely bad, evil, and these are, Christian folk, but just saying what a horrible guy this is, and he could never, lead the country. It's kind of like they forgot that he did it for 4 years before. Was not Hitler. In fact, was one of the most restrained presidents in American history, recent American history. And, right after the election, it was, oh my God, okay, well, y'all voted for him, so, you get what you get. I was like, yeah, that's why we voted for him. We are wanting some of this stuff to happen that, basically a return to normalcy.
Sorry. I had some feedback coming from, I apologize.
Oh, no. Just away from the deviancy that, these people have been preaching since Obama. So.
Absolutely. The one thing I was really, really impressed with, I know I sent you I think I sent it to you, the murals in that.
Oh, yeah.
In LA somewhere?
Actually, the one that's being covered up is downtown Atlanta.
Well, no, not that one. That was great. I'm glad it's
Yeah.
being covered up. We'll get to that one in a minute. But
Oh yeah. The murals that were you're right. It was
yeah,
in
wasn't that like South Central or some shit?
it was in California on the south
Right.
side of some
Yeah.
wherever.
I mean, an
Yeah.
incredible mural of Trump and a tribute to Elon Musk right next to it.
Right.
Um,
My favorite African.
hey, go top shelf or don't go at all.
Right.
So you know that if in the hood they're doing murals, some shit has changed.
Right.
And going back to your first mural comment, you said that was in Atlanta, right?
Yeah.
I guess they had taken Skamala and done this huge ass mural on the side of a building, and when she lost, they're out there painting it, covering it.
Yeah. In fact, that's over there by Oakland, the cemetery.
Okay.
I know exactly where that is.
Well, that kind of goes par for the course.
Yeah.
You know, but still, it's funny as shit. I'm sure there's a lot of people who were deep in their feelings on that election. And I know I sound like an asshole here, but we've been having to endure this for over 4 fucking years because it started before they got Trump out of office the first time.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it got so bad to the point where all of us, they were trying to break our spirit. Every time you turn around, there's more fuckery. Everywhere you looked. And, you can say what you want, but I'm a true believer that God is great and prayer paid off in the end because without his divine intervention, who knows what kind of shit could have took place this time.
Oh yeah. Well, see, and I guess that's the big difference that you see between real conservatives and liberals is that they will, the other side is going to sit there and shame you and you're just the most horrible person on the planet for whatever you think because you don't think the same way as we do. And then I guess as a conservative, I really don't care if you're gay. That's between you, your family, and your God. But when you want to impose this weirdo shit, like guys in women's bathrooms, guys playing female sports,
Wearing tuckables.
yeah, sticking the bald-headed cross-dresser as your Department of Nuclear, stuff like that.
You mean the klepto that like to steal luggage at the airport?
Yeah, or your department. No, he's not Department of the Interior. He's I'm talking about Booty Gig, the one that thinks that men can breastfeed.
Transportation.
Yeah, that stuff right there is what really pisses us off.
Well, don't forget about the dumb bitch that gets in front. Pierre, the one that Peter.
Oh
did,
yeah,
you have migraines too.
Exactly.
I would love to see her ass leave. I would like to be a fly on the wall when she's loading up one of them fucking banker boxes with shit.
Yeah, I hope he picks Ducey as his spokesperson. That would be awesome.
Yeah, don't take Ducey. Put Tucker up there.
Or Tucker, that'd be fine too.
Put somebody up there that's going to eat that ass up. I mean, don't get me wrong. Ducey does a good job. But, I mean, let's go full bore this time around.
All right.
Because he's got to pave the way for J.D. Vance to come in and take up the reins.
Oh, yeah.
So it's going to be important he gets in there and puts boot to ass quickly. Start cleaning house, get rid of all these fucking lifetime shit bags and these deviants. Send them packing. Going over some of the Trump derangement bullshit, we were talking about people on YouTube. I had a buddy of mine, known him for years. I've known him for over 20 years. He's got a kid that's in the Marines, or maybe out of the Marines now. but decent guy. And he posted something after Trump won and said, if you're, and I think I posted in chat, he said, if you supported Trump, you're either very ignorant or you're I want to say a terrible person or some shit like that. Don't attempt to engage me. Don't attempt to have a conversation. Unfriend me immediately because I want nothing to do with you. That's okay. Beep.
Right.
Deuces, buddy. And when I see shit like that, it just shows how bad some of these people took that blue Kool-Aid to the nth degree. When you make a statement like that,
Yeah. I think
really? I don't get, look, okay, I guess that's the difference between, I guess he's a fucking Democrat. I don't know. I never asked his political affiliation, but apparently he's wearing on his sleeve now proudly. It just blew me away because I would never think to say that to somebody.
Yeah.
Somebody comes to me and says, you wouldn't like how I voted. I said, the important thing is you voted. I don't care who you voted for. It's your prerogative. That's what makes this country what it is. Whether I agree with who you voted for or not, it's your right to vote for who you want to without repercussions.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Good for you. So it just, like I said, I mean, if that's how he wants to roll, okay, works for me. That's one less person I got to watch your bullshit across my feed.
Right.
That being said, I know I mentioned some of you earlier. There was a teacher, I want to say she was a special ed teacher. I can pull up the information here. And this may be a little bit old news, but I saw it and I wanted to bring it up. I guess she's in Connecticut, maybe?
Yeah, that tracks.
Yeah, I mean, go figure. And one of the statements, just because you won doesn't mean we don't remember who the fuck you voted for. Please don't test your gangster on me because you will end up on a stretcher gone forever.
Okay.
She said this on Snap fucking chat. Somebody screen captured the shit and leaked it.
Nice.
So she's on there all crying on the news. I didn't mean to have taken. I love his kids. The only reason she's shedding them fucking crocodile tears is that dumb bitch is going to get shit canned.
Yeah, she got caught.
Because she got caught. And I guarantee you, she's not the only one out there that's doing it. For how many years have they been out there indoctrinating and pushing their fucking agenda and persecuting kids? I remember back, this has been 5 years ago, one of our local board members here, his son went to a local middle school and went to school wearing a Trump shirt, and they were giving him shit and it caused a big stink.
Right.
So you know this has been going on for a while. This isn't something new, but I'm glad to see that people are getting called out on it and challenged because that needs to happen.
Right.
You know, and it for how many years have we, you know, I know myself, I know it's going to sound like some weak sauce, but you know the demographics where I'm at, right?
Oh, yeah.
So if I put a Trump flag or a Trump sign in my yard, one of two things is going to happen. A, I'm going to make the news, or B, I'm going to make the news and need bail money.
Right.
Am I telling a lie?
Oh, no.
So I opted not to put any political shit in my yard, which I've never, ever done. Ever. But because things are so politically charged, I said, you know what? I'm putting God's hands, hope for the best.
Yeah.
Now, my feeling is that I shouldn't have to do that. Not that I shouldn't have to put in God's hands. That's great. But I shouldn't feel like if I want to express who I'm supporting, I shouldn't have to feel like somebody's going to step up on my property and, you know, do something.
Right.
Whether it's a sign or my personal property, whatever. I mean, I rode around through the neighborhood and saw plenty of, you know, Obama signs. And yeah, I wanted to run them over, but I didn't. Teach their own. You're an idiot for voting for them, but that's your prerogative. You know, I always got a chuckle out when I see one that said, "Save democracy." Well, first off, we're not fucking democracy. Never have been.
Right.
We're a constitutional republic. Go back and check your history books. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a dumb redneck. I guess our society has devolved so much around being polarized against the other that it's now okay for them to go out there and do shit like that. If you did the other to them, if you got filmed by somebody on a phone going and pulling up a Skamawato sign,
Hate crime.
yeah, exactly. You're a racist. You're a right wing extremist. You're a, I mean,
Probably a white nationalist.
yeah, they try to throw the book at you. But set fire to a Trump sign, key a car, whatever, hey, it's all good. So there's two sets of rules, and I'm hoping that, you know, when 47 gets in office, that shit quickly starts getting
Yeah.
patched out.
Uh-huh.
Now, I know Ozzy had posted something earlier about he had saw an X where they were asking for Bedshitter to resign so that Obama could go in and serve as the 47th for a couple months just so she could be the first female president. And
Yeah, I've actually seen about 2 or 3 of those.
yeah, and it's like, I don't see that happening because A, Bedshitter would first have to remember where he's at and what he had to sign.
Right.
B, he's too fucking conceited to do it. There's no way he's going to step down.
Not on his own, no.
No, they would have to do another coup to get him to step down. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. I can see that being definitely an option for the Democratic Party because that way they still get their win.
Yeah, but even then, that's such a bad win. You know, that right there would solidify the DEI higher.
Right, but you gotta look at what they did. They thought for sure that all this fuckery they ensued these past 3.5 years, that they could hoodwink the American people and get her in there, basically as an appointed presidency as opposed to one that actually got elected, because she didn't go through any, they bypassed all the process to get her nominated. And they did that because they were afraid if they didn't fast track it, there was going to be infighting, and they didn't have enough time to do that.
Oh, yeah.
So they fast tracked probably one of the dumbest fucking candidates they could have found. And I truly believe she's a coke fiend. I believe the coke that they found in the White House is probably hers. But what do I know? Again, just to be clear, that's opinion. I have no facts to base it on. But my opinion. So all you brown shirts Facebook, sit back down, take a sip of your fucking soy latte, and shut the fuck up. But that being said, I mean, they picked the worst possible candidate they could have. And then they got Waxworks to run with her. And who thought he was a good choice?
Are you kidding? That's America's dad.
That motherfucker's dumb as a box of rocks too, and a lying piece of shit.
Yeah.
His own fucking unit don't like him.
So there's a podcast called Smartless, and I was going through my podcast list the other day, and I was like, okay, and they had him on there, and I was like, and I already know these guys. You know, there's the three fellows that are on it are fairly left wing, really left wing. But I was like, okay, I gotta hear this because it's an interview with Walls, and oh yeah, it was like sitting there listening to the most beta old man, you know, that you can imagine. you know.
I'm still trying to get over. I'm sorry. Go ahead and finish.
Oh no, it's just yeah. I still don't understand that pick.
Well, he was talking about how he was a gun owner and all this. I keep going back to that stupid fucking video. That dumbass wandering around the field and can't load his fucking shotgun.
Right.
Okay, if you're any kind of hunter, and I know where I'm from, I know what the requirements are to be able to hunt. Most places you have to go through a course.
Yeah.
Get a hunting permit. Where did this motherfucker get his? I wouldn't want to be in the same zip code with his dumb ass trying to carry a firearm.
No.
He couldn't load it. I damn sure doubt he could hit anything with it.
Yeah. No, between him and Cheney, I'd just be afraid to be in the same field.
That's what I'm saying. Those two fuckers are dangerous. But I was just saying to myself, talk about a bad photo op.
Yeah.
That's like trying to say you're pro gun, stand there in a gun range and shoot yourself in the hand because you forgot the safety was off.
Right.
Pack your shit up and go home.
Or like Kamala, when they asked her, "Do you have a gun?" "Oh yes, I've got a Glock." No, you don't. There's no way.
Well,
that was the first thing that popped into her head because that's what everybody always reports on.
Well, that's probably what her security detail had. Between her and that crooked ass husband of hers, I mean, they gotta have somebody to cover their ass.
Yeah.
I mean, it just amazes me how. I mean, it's like they're eating themselves right now because they're so busy trying to blame each other. Well, he should have done this or she should have done that. And, there's a bunch of flaming going on with Obama and bin Laden, too, about him running his mouth about young black men. Remember that comment he made?
Yep.
I mean, I've seen videos by black men pretty much saying, fuck you.
Yeah.
Because you're going to sit there and try to shame a group of people to vote the way you want them to vote rather than them vote for what directly affects their lives?
Right.
You think shaming them is the answer? Really?
Well, yeah.
I don't know.
What I'm really, interested to see, there was this mass exodus of people that said they were going to leave the country as soon as, it became free after the election.
I ain't having.
Yeah. All this swore up and down, man.
I mean, if that was true, white guys for Kamala, them motherfuckers had all of Delta tied up.
Right.
I mean, no. There ain't nobody going anywhere because it's the best place in the planet to be. You got the most opportunity in the borders of the United States of America. The most opportunity to be prosperous, the most opportunity to do pretty much anything. We have the most freedoms, the most liberties, and everything's protected with a thing called the Constitution you motherfuckers keep trying to use as toilet paper.
Yeah.
So.
Or quote whenever it's handy.
Right, exactly. So the one thing I've seen other than that, of course, have you seen these little feeds? I don't know if there's any truth to them. What's the bitch? Come on. Beyonce is one of them. What's the other one? Taylor Swift. How they both are saying they're not going to play in red states.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if there's any truth to that or not, because if that's true, they're going to both be bankrupt pretty quick.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they only got what?
You only can go to LA and Chicago and New York so many times.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's cool if they choose to do that, because I don't like either one of them. So but it's just funny to see all these people ranting. And,
yeah, go ahead.
No, go ahead. What are you going to say?
Oh, no. You're exactly right. Yeah. The ranting thing. But it's funny if, going on X and seeing the amount of of Dems that were like, okay, so you're telling me 20 million Democrats just sat out the election. I'm like, you're proving a point from the last election. Those 20 million were never there.
Well, they were
Yeah,
100.
but they were dead.
Well, they were around at one point or another.
Yeah,
Some of them had gray uniforms with
right.
gold, and some had blue. But that being said,
But yeah,
you're right. They are proving a point. I mean, if you want to go down that road, I mean, all you got to do is say to them, well, Biden got more votes than Obama did, and you expect us to believe that?
right.
I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Now, one thing I did notice when we voted this last time, and I really voted, and I believe you did too.
Yep.
To me, things were much more on point.
Oh yeah.
It wasn't as crowded, and it was much more on point. Now, I think this is all a byproduct of the fuckery in 2020. Maybe I'm wrong, but there was much more scrutiny, I felt, on the front end as opposed to the back end in 2020. And maybe that helped with some of these elections. I would like to think it did. I don't want to see us be a banana republic. And I'll be completely honest with you, this last election kind of restored a little bit of my faith in the electoral process.
Right.
I'm not saying there any shit needs to be done. We shouldn't be doing mail-in voting. Everything should be in person, unless you've got either a medical waiver of some form saying why you can't vote, or you're in the military overseas. Otherwise, your ass should be doing a by vote.
Oh yeah, I agree. Get rid of the mail-in stuff, but
Yep.
make election day a holiday. There's tons of other useless holidays out there that you could get rid of or supplement. Make it a holiday. Make it where everybody gets out.
Let's just cancel Pride Month. Take all that money that was being used.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a good relocation of resources.
Yeah, amen.
Just saying, because I guarantee you, the electoral process in this country is a lot more fucking important than tuckables and whatever the fuck else for that month. Pink hair dye. So, yes, I said it. Because the very cornerstone of this country is based on us voting and having that power as the people. And we were on that precipice of losing that forever. If we had not won this election, we were done as a republic.
Yeah.
And what people need to understand, while we did win the election, clearly, we won it in such a way that I think there's a lot of heavy drinking that next day and probably some shit in the bed. But we're not out of the woods yet. We've still got 67 days for 47 to get in there and start getting motherfuckers out of places.
Oh, yeah.
All right? A lot of shit can happen between now and then. Now, God forbid anything happen. I'm not trying to wish ill will on Donald Trump in any way, size, shape, or form. But I don't trust the evil that's in play.
Oh, no, yeah. Because they still got power for...
Yeah, they're not going to give up power at all. And they know there's so many people fucking terrified that are appointees. They're not elected officials. Like these people in these military, they're either the military, DOJ, FBI, whatever. All these little directors and different people got appointed. They know that the hounds are coming for them.
Oh, yeah. Sure, they probably already got their stuff out on Indeed.
Yeah, all this damn weaponization has been going on and fucking with the American people. All that shit, all them chickens about to come home to roost.
Yeah.
And when that happens, you're going to see one or two things going to happen. Either A, there's going to be something that happens before that to try and derail it, or there's going to be a huge hue and a cry when it starts happening.
Right.
I know we've seen a little bit of urban unrest here and there, some Palestinian bullshit here and something there, but it's not been on the scale that it was, say, during the patron saint of what was George Floyd was taken?
What did I'm
What
sorry?
did he overdose on? What did he overdose on? George Floyd.
Oh.
Come on.
Shit. Brain fart. I got it.
Fentanyl.
But yeah,
He's the patron saint of fentanyl. So, remember all them riots and shit.
Oh.
Well, one of my buddies was telling me today, so, you know, the reason you're not seeing anything is these motherfuckers, if you notice, this last little riot or get together, they all have little shirts they were wearing and everything. They have to wait for all the shit to get printed and thing represent and have all their signs. So they're trying to give them a little bit of time for the Soros funded uniforms to get to them and the whatever they're using for shields or whatever their signs. Wait for them to get their equipment, then they'll start coming out between now.
I was gonna say you got to wait for imprint to
Right.
finish making all.
You got to wait for Wiz to get it shipped over here. So, you know, there's probably actually some fact to that.
Yeah.
You know, if you're trying to make a big statement, have a bunch of people show up, whether they're all in black and a bunch of Antifa fucktards, or it's, you know, whatever flavor of the month it is protesting, whether it's a bunch of people, you know, lesbians for Hezbollah or whoever. You know, the misguided being the misguided.
Right.
So they got to wait until all the shit gets here so they can go out there and represent. Which is funny as hell because like I said, I honestly think there might be some truth to that.
Yeah.
It kind of makes sense. I mean, think back to when you saw Grandmaster McGriddle and the Ninja Battalion walking around Stone Mountain.
Right.
All in their tacked out Wish
From
Ninja
Timu. Yeah.
gear.
Right.
They all matched. They all marching in pretty lines, but don't give them a loaded handgun and make them march because they'll shoot each other.
Oh yeah.
They'll have misfires. They don't know what safety is. But you didn't see them all out there in FUBU and fucking blue jeans and sequins. They were all uniform, kind of. And if you think about it, it makes sense. The only people who go out there and don't have to all match are what?
Feds.
Who doesn't go out there all looking the same?
Oh, I mean, the feds do.
Regular old people.
Oh, well, yeah. Regular.
Patriots. We're not all out there dressed the same way. We go out and wear the fuck we got on and see what we got damn say. Now, we might wear a Trump shirt or carry an American flag, but we all don't look the same, do we? Think that one through.
Yeah.
And it don't matter what color skin you got. You can be any damn nationality. If you're a patriot, you're a patriot. If you love this country, you love this country. Period. Doesn't matter where you're from. Don't matter if you're born here or not. You know, this is your home. This is, you love, you know, love your country. That's great. So my point being, it's just funny that there's such a diverse difference. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
You know, it's just like like I said, it was a valid point that was made.
To be honest, I was really kind of expecting those folks
Yeah.
to be, up and out a couple of days before the election,
Yeah.
and right after too.
Well, I've got a theory for that, or about that. I think that, I don't know how many of you saw Skamawato give her parting speech, when she was licking her wounds at,
Oh yeah.
was it Howard University? But there was a lot of hidden messages in that speech. If you have more than 20 IQ points, go back and watch it and listen to what she says.
Oh, when she's talking about how you're gonna fight, how you're gonna live your life, and we'll do it, quietly, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's a message there, folks. And if you can't figure it out, call a friend.
Yeah. Oh well, we've always, we have made the connection before of, how did this country get in the shape that we're in? And a big part of it was by letting socialists and communists get into the education system. Well, in the past 20 years, we've done even better or worse with their generals. They worked for the Pentagon. They worked for the Department of Defense. They worked for stuff like that too. Yep. But they don't say communist. They don't say socialist. They say, how could you vote in somebody who, is not going to start another war? How could you vote in somebody that's not going to let Raytheon or GE or somebody like that go and leave, a few $1 billion worth of equipment over there in a foreign, a country that we're technically at war with. Yeah, stuff like that.
Yeah. Well, you got to think everything has been done up to this point, and this kind of goes into what we were talking about too. The first 100 days when Trump gets in office, you've seen some of the cabinet appointees he's putting in.
Yeah.
And there is so much blatant fuckery and disregard for the budget that if they're allowed to do what they're going to do, you could actually see them balance the budget year one.
Oh yeah. Well, you heard what Trump said. He says in 2 years, he said this is going to be, my birthday gift to the nation. After having Vivek and Elon go through and restructure, gut, whatever you want to call it,
right?
Government agencies.
Yep. If they're able to do what they're supposed to do, because I think whether you like them or not, Elon will streamline the costs. If there's waste, him and Vivek will find it.
Oh yeah.
And if it makes it out where this money is being spent, like, studies in Ghana about how cross-dressing transvestite teachers impact pizzas being made.
Right.
We spent $500,000 on that. Now, I don't know if that's true. It wouldn't surprise me, but that's just an example of the dumb shit that money is wasted on. And it's basically, if you look at it from the deviancy and the fuckery that's been allowed for so long, this goes back to Obama bin Laden and his presidency, because he's the one who fucked around with marriage and did some other things.
Yeah.
And made it where boys could go in girls' bathrooms and shit like that. All that stuff being done now is all because of what he laid.
Right.
The groundwork he did. And so, all that being said, now you've got all this stuff coming to fruition. People are fed up with it.
Oh, I can't wait till Getz gets in there.
Yep.
And just starts tearing up some ass.
Yeah. I want to see people in the street screaming, holding their banker's box full of shit.
Right.
And personally, what I think should happen, and maybe it'll never happen, but I can wish for it. All these damn politicians, and I don't care what side of the fucking aisle you're on, all these politicians that are cashing in and getting rich on the backs of the American people, whether it's investing in big tech or military contracts, energy, whatever the fuck you're involved in, and you're doing all this insider trading, the same shit that Martha Stewart got house arrest for?
Yeah.
Every one of you motherfuckers needs to be in prison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they do it every day.
And if you're doing stuff that could be labeled as treasonous, you got a choice. Short rope with sudden stop, or Guantanamo. Make a pick.
Right.
And we seize all of your assets. I think that's only fair, because if we did that, if we were doing it, that's exactly what would fucking happen.
Oh, yeah. Like I said, insider trading for us would be
Prison.
max prison time. Yet the IRS can come after you for $601 that's unreported over Venmo.
Yep.
So, yeah.
So, that being said, just saying, think it through. If you did that, you would literally clean house. You'd have a bunch of motherfuckers going to prison.
Oh, yeah.
And I'll tell you something else I hope happens too. I hope all this Diddy bullshit finds light. I want to see who was there.
Right.
I don't hear rumors. I want to see guest lists. I want to see video. Not of what they're doing, but who's there.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if you follow Brandon Herrera or not, but he has thrown his name out a couple of times for ATF. He says, bring me in for ATF. He says, I will go through and, systematically either defund or just gut it. And then when I'm done, I will ask that you go ahead and replace me or fire me. And I will ask to just, kill the whole agency.
The agency's a bloated bureaucracy that tries to write its own policy.
Yeah.
FBI the same way. I truly believe that you're going to have a hard time fixing any of those agencies because of how deep the rot is. You almost need to dissolve all of them and make a new one.
Yeah, and the last time that we had a president that wanted to, dissolve a big government agency like the CIA or the FBI, what happened to him?
Yeah, eternal dirt nap.
Yep.
Now, I'm just saying. I don't want to see anything happen at 47. He's going to be the savior for the next 4 years if he can get what needs to be done. Is he perfect? No, not at all. Nobody in Washington's perfect. Nobody on the face of this planet is.
Yeah.
But out of everybody that was running, he wasn't in it for the money. He wasn't in it for the power, and he wasn't in it for anything else other than to fix shit. I honestly believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's done some bad shit in his time. He's made some bad choices, but who hasn't?
Well, and that's kind of what killed me about all of these, like I was telling you earlier about these, Christian folks that were saying such a bad person. Look what he's done before. I was like, okay. Have you read your Bible? Have you heard of David? David did lots of bad stuff. He was an adulterer. He was a murderer. And he spent his whole life paying for it. Solomon, you pick a fine, upstanding young person in our Bible, and they're really a piece of trash. But it wasn't about them. They wound up doing some great stuff. So get off your high horse, man.
Yep. Sorry, I'm trying to take care of something. And I typed in the wrong place. Go team. Vanguard brother, if you can hear us, I think Moose is backstage waiting to try and get in here on this. I don't know if you're free or not. Anyways, getting back to what we were saying, I know the guy that I want to say the director, no, not the director. Who did he just pick? Was it the Department of Justice?
Let's see.
Oh, I'm thinking the wrong guy.
Hold on, I'll tell you, because I had him pulled up here. So he had. Let's see, Tulsi Gabbard as National Intelligence.
Yes, Tulsi Gabbard. I like that choice.
Yeah, you got Matt Gaetz as Attorney General. Let's see. He was wanting to get Rubio in there. For what I cannot remember.
Okay.
But you got Vivek and Elon for Doge or Dodge, whichever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Now I heard he was putting Tucker Carlson somewhere in there too.
Let's see.
That's right, Secretary of State. You're right, Moose. Now, there's still that rumor floating around about San Bernardino. Have you seen that?
I saw a snippet of something about like that today, and I can't remember what it was for though.
It was for the director of the CIA, I think.
I thought Secret Service.
Well, maybe Secret Service. Yeah, you're right, Secret Service. So, if that's true, I mean, that would be interesting.
Yeah, that would. Oh, so you got Robert F. Kennedy for.
He's a UN ambassador. No, he's HHS Secretary.
Health, yeah.
Health and Human Services. White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. I found the list finally. Attorney General Matt Gaetz, Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche, not familiar with who that is. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., UN Ambassador Elise Stefanik, Border Czar Tom Homan, who I heard is going to put boot to ass.
That dude's awesome.
Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth, Secretary of Veteran Affairs Doug Collins, which is a good pick, I think. National Security Advisor Michael Waltz, White House Counsel William McGinley. Let's see who we got. Hang on, the list keeps going. Solicitor General Dean John Sauer, Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem, and I like Kristi Noem.
Yeah, I like her.
CIA Director John Ratcliffe. Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, EPA Administrator Lee Zeldin, U.S. Ambassador to Israel Mike Huckabee.
Yeah.
U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York Jay Clayton, Department of Government Efficiency Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy.
Right.
Deputy Chief of Staff Dan Scavino, Deputy Chief of Staff for Policy and Homeland Security Advisor Stephen Miller, Deputy Chief of Staff Legislative, Political, and Public Affairs James Blair, Deputy Chief of Staff Communications Personnel Taylor Budowich, and presidential personal office head Sergio Gore. Now, that's just what he's picked so far.
Yeah.
He's got a really diverse group this time, and I think he's learned his lesson not to surround himself with idiots. He had a bunch of bottom feeders and psychopaths last time. And I think what's happened is he has surrounded himself with a much better group of people. He knows what he's going into this time. He's not walking in blind.
Yeah, well, he's not trusting either. He's going with, yeah.
Exactly. So, I'd be interested to see if he brings some more people in. I know I saw a clip somewhere of his daughter possibly running for Senate in Florida.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be a hell of a note?
That would be interesting.
What would be even more interesting is she ran for Senate, and then somewhere down the road she ran for president.
President or governor.
I mean, stranger shit has happened.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean, just waiting to see. Again, I'm glad that Tuesday turned out the way it did.
Oh, yeah.
Moose made it. What's up?
I am here. Now, two things.
All right.
Any update on Cocaine Gate?
Nope. I believe that the rumors that we heard that might have possibly not been hunters is probably the facts. And the person it belongs to will probably be leaving shortly.
Okay. And then second thing, Brandon Herrera put out a video actually yesterday.
Yeah.
Where he kind of put a lot of that to rest about, Trump has not approached him. It's just been like a meme war kind of thing.
Right.
And he did come out and say that, some of the stuff he would do. And he said, the interpretation is, Congress writes the law, and then the ATF's job is to interpret it. And you could loosely interpret things like, for example, the word common use. A machine gun is in, quote, common use for the civilian. See what I'm going with this?
Yep.
And then give you 90 days or I can't remember how many days. It's like either 2 weeks or 90 days. I can't remember. Where if you want to buy it, you buy one.
Right.
That thing. And, and then you legally own it, all that, as long as you did it within that 2 weeks.
Right.
And because it's all loosely interpreted, So, I mean, it was a funny video. I will say that. But some of it, I was like, hell yeah, we need to put Herrera in there for ATF.
Well, anybody in there is better than the political appointees they've got.
Do we have an ATF director right now?
I think you have an acting ATF director. I don't know if we've got an actual standing one or not, actually. I haven't looked.
Because I don't, if I'm not mistaken, I don't think we've had one for a couple of years. Like a standing one. Like we've got just somebody doing it, till they find somebody kind of thing. And it's been, God, years since we've had one.
Well, I think the last director was the one who tried to make the pistol braces class 3s.
No, I want to say it goes back to bump stocks. Was the last one.
What's funny, if you pull up ATF director on Google, first thing that pops up is Brandon Herrera.
Nice. I love it. Well, I mean, stranger things have happened, and it wouldn't necessarily be a bad thing, I believe you need to upset the apple cart to get the ship back on course. We've been adrift for a very long time, and it's time to fix shit.
The only The only one I don't think will probably get confirmed will be Matt Gaetz. He's made too many enemies in Washington, and I just that's the only one I don't really see, getting confirmed. So, I don't know why. I just got a gut feeling that Matt Gaetz will not get confirmed, especially because tomorrow apparently there was some congressional inquiry into him, like about like drug use, sexual stuff, and bunch. And that report was supposed to come out tomorrow, and he resigned today, so that report now stays in the closet in the dark.
Interesting.
And I was like, he's up for attorney general. You think he would have said, all right, I'm going to hang around till this report comes out. And then, because it makes him look guilty.
Well, yeah, I guess it does. And it's all about the optics. On one side, it does make him look guilty. On the other side, it looks like he's just not giving any credit. He's not giving any time.
Well,
you see what I'm saying?
I'm just saying, he gets appointed, then all of a sudden he steps down one day right before tomorrow they're going to release that report. And now the report stays lost forever.
Well, is that any different than
I'm just the first
we've
thing
been seeing that for years?
Was, oh man, the left is so going to use that,
Well, I don't think we've seen the last of anything. I think it's going to get worse before it gets better. I think we're going to see.
Yeah, I mean, as long as we keep hitting them, with these little trickles, 2 or 3 at a time.
Yeah.
Where they can't get their footing and they're constantly in a whirlwind storm.
Yep.
They really can't fight back. But the minute we can't do that, and then we have to start going into hearings to get confirmations done, it's over.
Well, I also think they may be holding off the rioting and all the civil unrest until either January 6th or until Trump is officially in office, and then make it his problem.
Now they're gonna pull something before. I think pretty much the whole month of January is going to be interesting, all the way up to Inauguration Day, and then that's what I think. I think shit's really going to hit the fan.
Yeah, it could. I mean, we gotta watch out. Keep your heads on a swivel, folks. Don't get this when everybody gets lax. Stops paying attention, being vigilant, and this when you get bit in the ass. In my opinion. So just gotta pay attention to what's going on around us. Again, I hope that Trump gets in there and he's able to do these things he wanted to do. I know he's also touted no tax on Social Security, no tax on tips,
no tax on overtime.
Yeah, I really think all that ought to happen, because the people who are out there working overtime are the working class. Number one.
Well, if you've ever sat down and ever worked overtime and stuff, if somebody comes to you and says, hey, we need you to work overtime, you start figuring your hours up. For you really to make any more money and make it worth it, you have to work, something like 15 to 20 hours of overtime?
No, well, in my job, when I was working in my previous career, the rule of thumb was if you want me to work overtime, I had to work at least, I think, it had to be at least 4 hours, because you went to higher tax rate when you worked overtime.
Yep.
You had to make more money to offset that tax rate, so it had to be so many hours overtime. So when they come to me and say, well, we need you to work an hour overtime today. Most of the time what I did in my job, because of the job I had, we would take comp time over overtime.
Oh, yeah.
Because what the comp time essentially was, it was free time they had to give you no matter when it was. So let's say it was critical time and you want to take a day off, go fishing or whatever, they had to give it to you.
Yeah, so you just called in.
Well, no, I just used the time. I'd call
You
it
know,
a big comp time day, and there's nothing to do.
yeah. You just called in like that morning, for example, and you'd say,
Right.
"Hey, I'm taking a comp time," and
Exactly. And
and
it pissed them off, but eventually they did away with giving it to us.
all right, now let me ask you this: at your previous job, did your K time did it build up, and then like at the end of the year, you either had to use it or lose it, or could you
Now,
carry
paid
it up?
time off, yes. You had a bank. You only could go so high in the bank, whether it was sick leave. Sick leave, you could keep all of it. It didn't go away because you can use the sick leave towards your retirement. But your vacation time, you only could carry so many days with you. So if you had over that, you lost them at the first of the year. So you'd have people around Christmas burning days because they're about to lose them.
Now, see, on my previous job, our comp time
Right.
carried over year to year.
Yeah, our comp time carried over. I'm talking about earned time.
Yeah, and then like your vacation days,
Yeah.
did not. Your sick days did, but your vacation days did not. Um, I mean, hell, I had so much damn comp time whenever I resigned from my previous job, I could have taken off work for like the last month.
Yeah.
And got paid, and they were going to buy my comp time from me originally for like 40 cents on the dollar. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. I'll just get up and call in every morning. And
that's what I did.
and after about a week of that, they called me and they were like, all right, we'll buy it from you. And I was like, okay, how much? And I got them up to like 85 cents on the dollar, and I was like, I'll take that.
When I had comp time and I was getting ready to leave, I didn't have enough to use it towards me leaving. So they were going to either pay me, like you said, pennies on the dollar. I said, nope. I went to my boss, told him, I said, these are the days I'll be here each week until I leave. You can put me down for sick leave every other day. And I burned almost 60 sick days.
I mean, like I said, I had a little over a month that I could have literally taken off work, and I had right at 34 days worth of comp time.
Yep.
And they were at first, like I said, and then after about a week, they figured out that I was not going to give it away. And even though I already had another job lined up where I was going to be going to,
right,
and all that, and they were like, all right. And I said, look, they called me at 85 cents on the dollar. I was like, yeah, I'll do that.
Okay.
And so I sold all my comp time back to them, and then had to show up to work.
Well, that could have been worse. At least you got compensated.
Oh yeah. I mean, I didn't get my full dollar for dollar on it, but
you got close.
I wasn't going to give it away.
Well, I don't want to keep Vanguard any longer than we already have. I know he's trying to do some shit on the side here and keep this running. So, Moose, I'm going to give you the mic. I'm going to let you give us some parting words of wisdom for the evening.
Oh, God. I mean, you hit me deep there, man. I got to give wisdom. Well, when you're going on that date, be sure to take something in your wallet besides money. That can usually help prevent things in the long run. Let's see. Don't pee in the wind. That's usually not a good one either. And when you go hunting, be sure you wear 2 pairs of socks. Even if it's hot outside or whatever, just always have 2 pairs of socks on. Anybody that's ever been caught after eating Taco Bell going deer hunting to understand.
Damn. All right. Well, thank you for gems of wisdom there, brother. Sax man, you're on deck, brother.
Oh.
Don't trust your government.
Yeah. Let's see. So we won this one, but we can't keep. We can't stop. This is not an end point. This is a beginning. Let's keep fighting the good fight.
Oh, as of right now, we have the majority in the House.
We've got everything if we don't have a bunch of rhinos fuck us.
So I think it's like I think we got, the last I saw was like 218, which is the minimum you have to have for the majority. And I was like, oh, this is going to get interesting.
Damn. Oh, shit.
But there's still elections out there that hadn't been called yet. So there is a chance we could wind up with like 220, 221.
The more the merrier. All right. Well, that being said, everyone, thank you for being here. I hope we didn't bore you. Hope you enjoyed yourselves for the little time we were together. Keep your eyes on the prize. We got 67 days. Keep your head on a swivel and keep praying for 47 because he's got a lot of bad things arranged against him. So he's going to need all the help he can get. Keep that in mind and stay vigilant. That being said, thanks for everyone being here again, and try to have a safe and happy weekend. Enjoy your family. Enjoy your loved ones. Do something other than dwell on all this fuckery going on. Try to do something for yourself, and hopefully we'll see you next week. Night, everybody.
Night, kids.
Night, youngins.
But